Hey, hello, good morning, guys, and this is Coding with Gautam, and today we will be doing the Traversals Investigate and just the Traversals Investigate. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. So, first, let's see what we're supposed to do. Read through the entire code. Each student focuses on a single function since it's just a tutorial. We're doing all, and yeah. So, create a function that adds together the total time of every element in the list and then console log that, then call this function up then call this function in the update screen function. So yeah, let's begin. So let's look at the code right now. So what we're supposed to do is, let's see, um let's hit the time in minutes. So we have 10 new mile time, then we run a 7-minute mile, then we run an 8-minute mile, then we run a 16-minute mile, and then let's say we get real gassed up and we run 30, but then we sprint a mile and then we run a 6. So yeah, you can see that our fastest is 6, our slowest is 30, total miles is 6, and average is 12. So how do we do this? So we have the miles times list, average, fastest, slowest, total miles, and new time. So on event, we click the new mile button, you get a new time, which you get from the mile input. Then you append that mile time into the mile times list, and then you add 1 to the total miles. Then you update the screen. In the update screen, what you do is you do the average. So you average everything out. You check the fastest, check the flow, and then you update the number list display. Then you reset the text, and then the log function, which I have created in the modify. But let's look at that later. But first, on the average, let's see how we do this. We have the total 0. Then we loop through each element in the miles time list, add it to total, and we have the total. Then we divide the total by the length, which is the amount of numbers there, which is how average works. Average, you add up all the values and then divide by the number of values given. So that's what we're doing here. We're looping through the list, adding every value together using indexing, and then dividing by the length. For slow, you have a temporary variable 0. You loop through every single element in the mile times list again, if the mile times list is greater than temp. So you start with 0. And remember, slowest means the greatest time. So if it's greater than 0, then it be set and then slowest equals temp. Let's see how this works, right? For example, I have a sample list of 0, 5, 10, 1, 6, and 25, right? So first it starts and then it says, well, 0 is now greater than 0, 5 is greater than 0, so then temp equals 5, and then 10 is greater than 5, so temp equals now 10, 1, it's not, 6 doesn't work, 25, 25 is greater than temp, so 25 is our final value, and then slowest. So that's how it works. Fastest, you do the exact same, but this time you just reverse it because the fastest is the slowest time. Then on the numbers list display, you have the variable temp, and then basically you just format everything with mile, I plus 1, equals to mile time, and then you add a new line. Remember, it starts with 0, so you always have to add 1 because there is no mile 0, it's mile 1, mile 2, mile 3, mile 4. Then you add this for the look, and then slash new line so that instead of going here, we can print it in a clean order. Then for our log function, you basically have the times, you loop through everything, and then yeah, you just keep adding everything, and then you I++. So that's basically what it is for me. And then let's reset, let's run. Let's hit let's run 10, 20, 30, 5, 1, 5, 6, and then a 1 mile. So yeah, so you can see that it averages everything, it works out fine. So yeah, how do we do the log function? Well, you loop through everything, you do the same thing you did in the average, you add everything together. And then you console log times, which because it has to put in the console log. Second, you call in the update screen function log. So yeah, this is good. All right, that's it. Let's finish and continue. Now we're on the random dog picker. Let's run. Okay, so let's have a medium dog, let's have a large dog, let's have a small dog, let's have a medium dog. So it just keeps doing that. Let's have a large dog. Okay, so What does this do? This code basically prints if it chooses a random large, medium, and small dog depending on size. So, how do we do this? We go to the data, and remember we're using data. Let's check the dogs. So it has the name, the breed, the bred for, hunting, lap dog, etc. Minimum lifespan, maximum lifespan. I think we'll be working with the weight and the height mostly to define size. So let's see. Yes, we're using a height, not weight. So set up blank lists in the filter data. So this is for dog names, this is for dog images. Then you do the list setup, which we will call, which I will show you later. On event, you click the size drop down and then you change it. Then you do the list setup. And now the filter function, the start of the show. So filter dog names, filter dog images, and you get the dog size from the get size. So you loop through everything. If the dog height is less than 16, it's small. If it's greater than or equal to 16 and it's less than 24, it's classified as medium. If it's greater than or equal to 24, it's classified as large. Then we append the item, the respective item, and its image to the respective lists. Then we print the list of the dogs named that match the value in the dropdown. That's what this is about. Then you set up the screen of elements, you update screens. So random index, you choose a random number in the filtered dog length. And next you set the text of the name output, which is here, to the dog's name of the random number. You use it as the index, save for picture. And then for list setup, let's basically filter and update screen. So yeah, this is it. Now let's move on to the next one. Pretty simple apps here. Yeah, okay. List, filter, pattern. We're working on that. That's fine. So we already did that. Let's reduce pattern. So actually, let's go back real quick and review it. Okay, so this is the list filters starting letter. So when you have that, you filter it, then you go through list length, and then substring. Remember, substring is where you get the first letter 0 to 1, you get the first letter, and if it's equal to A, then you append item filter list. So remember, every time you have I less than list length and I equals 0, you can just realize that, oh, it's filtering through every item in the list. So then let's do for length. So then you do that, then you check the length, and then if the word length is greater than 7, you filter it. Same thing here. This is basically the start of the show where you define it, because the if statement we already know, the for we already know. It's just what we do here is different every time. So then filtering multiple lists. Let's see this. So we have each one. So we loop through all student grades. If the student grades list equals 11, then we can get that. So basically what it's saying is that, so the grade list, right? So you can see these are supposed to be numbered. So last one is corresponding for all of them. Fourth is corresponding to all of them. And then when you filter them out, you can see that, well, if we check for 11, for example, Maya, if 11 in the student grade list was the first index because 0, 1, then it's 18 and Maya corresponding. So yeah, then we move on. This average, we already did that. You add everything and you divide it. Smallest, we already talked about this. And then yeah, so how would you filter a dog's data set using a traversal to have a filtered list of dogs who lives long lives? I'd like to see your answer in the comments. Let's see what you guys think. So that's it, guys. Lesson 10, which is the Traversals Investigate. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. This is Coding with Gautam, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Have a great weekend.